Okay, welcome back to another session of Creating Art Over 70 with Scion Rufus. Um, I feel like doing a little bit more today, so I'm gonna start at this next session. In this session, I'm gonna start to lay in the the Lori, lay in Lori here. However, I ran into a little dilemma when I was laying this out. I was laying it out in a grid so I could try to keep the proportions correct. However, that would have worked if I had have painted Lori first because Lori is the taller of the two. So then I'd been able to keep their proportions within the parameters of this the little grid that I had drawn out. So it's not a deal breaker. It's just an adjustment. So fortunately, I had left well enough paper outside of these borders where I could draw some more, paint some more in there, and then have some paper and a border on top of that. Because Laura's gonna have to come up about this high. Oh, the top of her head is going to have to come up about this high over this particular border here. So in order to keep the proportions correct or close to correct. Okay. All right. Yeah. So she's actually just a little taller, and Patrice has a lean, and Laura is more sitting more straight upright with a little bit of an angled slant in her anatomy in her gesture. Okay, so anyway, that's what we're getting ready to do. Let me gear up and just get busy. Creating art over 70. Oh, and here's the Lord. Thanks for watching. See you shortly. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop here. Um, I've been working kind of hard trying to get the forms and the shapes that I want to put in place for Lori. Um, and then I started working in some of the values, the brushes. But I don't want to get too far into it right now. I want to sit back and think about it for a bit. Cause I approached it just a slightly bit different than I did with Patrice, if you remember how I approached it. So I went in a little bit more with erasing before I actually laid in some of the actual charcoal. I was racing back some of the willow charcoal to see what I could do with it like that. It worked. It was working. It was working relatively well. Um, However, I needed to come in and start putting in some actual charcoals. So that's where I am. So what I'm going to do in the next session, I'm going to come in and try to tighten up the face a little bit. This here area here. Okay, I want to tight this as tight as I can. Also, I'm changing the direction that Lori is going to be looking. I'm going to have her looking more out at us like we did for Patrice. Patrice is kind of looking more out at us as opposed to into space or in a different direction than where we are. So, so I'm going to try to accomplish here. So that what happens when I do that, it kind of changes um, the look, I think, of the character because I'm trying to recreate their anatomy, how it would be if they looked in a different direction, and that's still something I'm working with. And so that's why I kind of paint a lot of my my portrait pieces more to the references than just freehanding, so I can work with that. Don't get me wrong, on a character that's not a subject that is known, that is a reference like this, I can do relatively well. If I just do something and I want to change expressions, anger, happy, blah, 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 I could do that. But with the actual person that I have a reference, and to change the anatomy to a degree where I'm trying to make it look real and still be that particular person. So it's going to be a little tough. I'm going to try to keep the other features the same and just shift the eyes from looking that way to looking this way, more at us, type of a thing. Okay, so anyway, that's it for this session. Creating Art Over 70 with Sign Rufus, Patrice, Lori, charcoal painting. We're working on the Lori section now. And see you in the next session. Thanks so much for watching. Blessing.